right, with that, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ralph Engelstad Arena as we are set to introduce the 17th head coach of the North Dakota hockey program, Dane Jackson. My name is Alex Johnson, Assistant AD of Athletic Communications here at UND. Thank you once again to the Pride of the North Band, as well as our Spirit Squad and mascot for that introduction. Couple of quick housekeeping notes before we get started. Today's format will feature statements from our President, Andrew Armacost, as well as our Director of Athletics, Bill Chaves, and then Head Coach Dane Jackson. We ask that after all the statements are done, we'll open up to questions from our media members only here. We do have a mic floating around, so if you could please raise your hand before asking your question, as well as naming your name and affiliation prior to your first question, that would be great. With that, I will make a baseball reference before he does. Our leadoff hitter today is our great president, Mr. Andy Armacost.
It's awesome to see everyone on a day of celebration. We today offer our congratulations to Dane Jackson as our new men's head hockey coach, and to his family, Carrie, and the kids. Congratulations to each of you as well. It's a huge day for you. It's also a big day for the team, and we have to remember that everything we do on our campus and events like this celebrate the leadership of the most important functions that we do, and that's to support the young men on this hockey team, both in terms of their development on the ice, but just as importantly, their development off the ice as young men, as great citizens, potentially as future professional hockey players, but certainly everybody hopefully will graduate with a degree from UND and go off and make a huge impact on this world in so many ways. And you make a baseball reference. I know the importance of this sense of teamwork. I've been a baseball player. I was a baseball player, as Alex said, with a short-lived career of 3 months as an intercollegiate player. And what I learned from those 3 months was the sense of teamwork, the sense of pride, the importance of leadership and togetherness, and that comes together under Coach Dane Jackson. It's an important day for UND. Hockey, our premier sport here at the University of North Dakota, sets a tone for the whole campus. And Dane, your leadership will certainly set a tone for this team and continue the rich tradition of head coaches across the storied history of this program. And today I know that Coach Hackstall's here, Coach Gasparini's here. I know we've talked to Coach Blaze, who's I think in Arizona, and of course Dane will follow in the rich tradition of Coach Brad Berry, who served us for 10 great years here at UND. And Dane, this day is about you. It's about what you bring to the program, the rich history, your commitment, long-term commitment as a coach, as a player, and the opportunities that you have given up to stay here, committed to your alma mater, and to continue developing young men of great character and great talent on the ice. I look forward to your leadership for many years to come and what you'll do for the University of North Dakota and our men's hockey program. So congratulations to you. Let me also thank the members of the athletic department who served in the process of doing a national search to lead to your selection. And Bill Chaves and his team, Eric Martinson and Chad Karthauser, did an amazing job executing that search and bringing you to the forefront and having you rise to the top of a talented group of candidates to truly earn the selection as our new head coach of men's hockey. So without further ado, let me introduce, first let me thank everyone for being here, all the fans, all the great supporters of UND men's hockey. You make a difference. You keep coming, you keep cheering on these young men to do great things and to represent our university. I'm so proud. Every time, I say this all the time, when I walk into this place and I see the crowd, it's like a scene from Rudy. I say this to Kathy all the time, where Ned Beatty walks in and says, "This is the most beautiful thing these eyes have ever seen." And every time we come in on Friday and Saturday and I see you warming up on the ice, I see the coaches getting ready, and I see the fans gearing up, this is a unifying element of our campus. I'm so proud to be the president of such an amazing university that yields such an amazing program that supports each and every one of you. So congratulations. Coach, congratulations as well. We'll have you up in a minute. But first, let me introduce our Director of Athletics, Bill Chaves.
So I'm already 0 for probably 2 today. 1, holy cow, the Pride of the North, that was awesome. Scared me to death. Oh my goodness gracious. And then the other thing I would say is, Never follow Andy Armacost. Holy cow, it's hard to do that because it's just amazing what he is for us here at the University of North Dakota. He and First Lady Kathy Armacost. Give him a round of applause. And as Andy said, I want to thank everyone for joining us today, both here and online virtually. Anytime you do a search, there are a number of folks along the way, and it's truly a team effort you need to thank. Obviously, I thank Dr. Armacost, his wisdom, his leadership. He's been through a lot in higher ed and has seen a lot, and so I value that every single day. Peggy Varberg, she's like an unsung hero. She's the head of our human resource department, and it takes a team to go through this, and Peggy and her team were invaluable during this process. Andy mentioned my search committee teammates. Eric Martinson, Chad Karthauser did a tremendous job and helped through it. But again, lots of folks that we received feedback from, and again, to all of our former players that I received feedback from, to coaches Gasparini, Hackstall, and Blaze, really do appreciate your thoughts throughout the process. To our passionate alums and fans who all provided invaluable feedback. There was a lot of feedback, but it was all invaluable for sure. To our current student athletes, I know it's been a tough week and a half for sure. Today's a day of celebration though, and what you provided was invaluable as well. And so thank you to you all. I mean, for sure. You know, education is primary here. Obviously, hockey is very important in your world, but you go through these things in life, this will serve you down the road because you'll have this experience. And finally, thank you to Kelvin Ziegler and the REA staff, and led by Jody Hodson, for putting this on today. Thank you very, very much. So as I mentioned, you go into searches, especially during this time in Division I athletics, wanting a great and expedited process, because there are many things occurring in Division I athletics right now, and it is incredibly important that we expedite things for many, many reasons. Today, I feel like we had a great process and we had a great result. So that's what you hope for in naming Dane. I know Dane is UND through and through. He's on a short list of coaches. I should have done this. I think as Alec Johnson stood up here, I'm I guess, media relations person at heart, where I started my career. I should have done the research, but not many people in college hockey have been an assistant coach for 19 years at the same place. And that's just amazing. 2 decades of amazing performance here. And today, and we say this because I talked to a lot of people in the hockey world over the last week and a half, and I'm going to say that today, UND hockey is like a Ferrari, and we're giving the keys to a Ferrari to Dane Jackson. One thing I know he's going to do, he's going to drive it successfully. But make no mistake, as I spoke to many folks, we've got high expectations for our program. There's no doubt about it. Some in the hockey world would argue impossibly high, but we have high expectations. I would just say this, we're going to continue with high expectations. The one thing we never want to do is reframe our expectations. Finally, without further ado, let's meet the 17th head coach in the history of the University of North Dakota men's hockey, Mr. Dane Jackson.
Thanks for being here. I appreciate your support. What an April day we have here. First of all, I'd like to thank President Armacost, Bill Chaves, Eric Martinson. Your belief and trust in me to be the next leader of UND hockey is humbling. Our staff will dedicate ourselves and our lives to maximize this program. To Chris Engelstad and the Engelstad family, your support of our program and this building is incredible. We are so appreciative. Our staff wants to acknowledge and thank the recent leaders of our program, Brad Berry, Dave Haxtell, Dean Blaze, and Gino Gasparini. In 1987, I was a young man in Castlegar, BC, about 1,000 miles away from here, and I used to get Sports Illustrated. There wasn't a lot of hockey in the magazine, but I read an article about UND and about how Gino Gasparini had led the program to its 3rd national title in 7 years. Read about the Hercus Circus and Bob Joyce and Herc, Eddie Belfour and the Nets, and I just saw the comments of the guys about the program, and it just impacted me so much. And I said I wanted to go play there. And then in 1988, in January, Kerry Eads and Dean Blaze brought me on a visit here. It was a blizzard in January. I met with Gino, and I was hooked. I knew I wanted to come. I committed on the spot. And Gino, he taught us about toughness, competing, selflessness. His passion and fire were inspiring. He always talked about the logo on the front, more important than the name on the back. Dean Blaze modeled confidence, intensity, amazing instincts. We absolutely loved Blazer. Kerry Eads, his swagger, his toughness, connecting to players, maybe want to be like him. Dave Haxtell showed me the discipline and focus and preparation it took to run a championship level program. These men built and sustained an ironclad culture that has been the foundation for a half-century of our program. They've impacted so many players that have played for these guys. And they showed us that it's the work and the sacrifice and the commitment during the week that makes the difference in the games. These leaders taught us about humility and respect, how to work and compete, and everything is earned. Selfless team first, being part of something bigger than yourselves. I believe the UND administration in choosing me was actually choosing what our program stands for to its core. I'll connect our current players to the foundation and the roots of the past guys that have come before us. Our staff's plan going forward. North Dakota has always been built differently. We've been built on the man, the character, the toughness, the grit, the guys that rise up in big moments. That's what our coaches have picked for years. We will get back to that. We've done that a lot, and we will make sure that's a core identity of ours. Our core identity is to get the right players for the right reasons that want to play at UND, to win championships, to develop as a player and a person, to be part of a historic program, and be immersed in an awesome culture with driven, focused teammates and coaches. Building a staff, we need to modernize our program. In this fast-changing college landscape, we need to adapt. Going to hire a person that's a GM/recruiting coach that will be dedicated to recruiting, roster management, portal management. Having said that, we'll make sure we get back to a sustainable model of recruiting and developing 3- and 4-year players that are tied to UND and have a love for the program. Our staff thanks our passionate fan base, and we'll engage them to support our 1883 collective. We do need your support in these new times to be successful. We are looking forward to restructuring our staff with people who work to embody our UND values and the men that built our program. We will care for our student athletes, but make no mistake, we will push and demand a lot out of them. It takes uncommon effort, dedication, and sacrifice to win, and we'll challenge these guys to do that on a daily basis. We will have a hard-nosed and accountable environment where everybody meets the standard. We're going to commit to a no-excuses process. Our promise is we will outwork, outcompete, outprepare our opposition. Every practice, every workout, every meeting, we'll pay attention to the details, and we'll commit to the work, because as Schmitty likes to say, the work works. We will work to win the day, stack up great days so that at the end of every year we are playing our best hockey, so we're able to battle for championships year in and year out. In the past and currently, UND players have lived these competitive practices where guys are literally fighting to earn their position in the lineup, earning their next shift. We'll make sure that's the standard. That level of day-to-day commitment to the process will drive winning, and winning will take care of itself. I remember as a player, after a Saturday night, watching Dean Blaze, Gino Gasparini, and Kerry Eads get in their car on a Saturday night and start driving. They'd be going out to Saskatchewan, to Manitoba, Minnesota, to recruit for the next day. That level of dedication is something that always stuck with me. We will model that, staff, like the old guys, because the answers are in the rinks. Our goals to win NCHC championships and national championships. We've won 6 Penrose Cups in the last 12 years, as many as the rest of the league combined. Very proud of that. But we know that we're measured by national championships at UND, and that is what we will tailor our plans toward, about winning another green banner. We'll work to graduate all of our players. We've done an outstanding job of that in recent years. Our guys have averaged a 3.4 GPA. We're extremely proud of that. We'll continue that honor. We'll work to develop quality young men that do the right things in the community. We'll work to develop high-level hockey players that have a chance to go on and play at the next level. But we'll play a winning brand of hockey because they have elite habits and details built into their game. Our goal is to have great members of the campus community. I want our guys to support other athletes in their competitions. I want them to be in the classrooms, taking in-person classes, and be involved in the campus life so that we support the people that support us. I spent almost a quarter century here at UND as a player and a coach. It's been an incredible experience. Work with incredible people, dedicated, focused. People that work and study here has been so fulfilling. My kids have grown up in this town. We all feel so fortunate to be a part of it. Our staff will all have that incredible pride and passion, and we will dedicate our lives to making UND a perennial power in college hockey and make you all proud. My thank yous go to the REA staff. Just an amazing group of people. Their dedication and professionalism is unmatched. We are so appreciative of your work. After 2 decades, I still get chills walking into this place. To my past players that I've gone to battle with, your sacrifices and commitment to the program is special. You guys know exactly who I am and what I stand for and what I'm all about. Nobody is bigger than the program. The program always comes first. To our current players, thanks for your loyalty. Work through these tough times. We will appreciate your efforts and dedication will drive our program forward. I have total belief in that. And it all comes down to your guys' attitudes. To my staff, Mark Pullman, 30 years. You're a rock, your wisdom, unbelievable. You're always a great point of advice. Pat Swanson, 20 years of grinding, taking care of the details so that we can focus on the hockey. So appreciative. Dylan Simpson, Dan Johansson, John Fitzgerald, Ryan Leducer. Your tireless support and work on late nights and long weekends are incredible. Thank you for all your work. To our student athletes, fans, and donors, your passion and amazing support is what differentiates our program from all the rest and makes our program the gold standard. I'd like to thank my family, your support. Love you guys.
All right, with that, we will open it up to questions. We'll start with Director of Athletics, Bill Chaves. Once again, these are questions from media members only. If you want to raise your hand, our mic finder will find you. And please start with your name and affiliation on your first question. So with that, we'll open up the questions for Director of Athletics, Bill Chaves.
Where's Brad? Here he is.
Brad Schlossman, Grand Forks Herald. Bill, when you make a change, you're obviously looking for something different. What do you envision being different under Dane?
Yeah, so, I would say that leadership changes are always difficult, and certainly this was a decision made over time. And Dane hit on it. We're in an interesting time in Division I athletics right now, and we need to modernize some of the things that we do, and that might be somewhat of a buzzword to some degree, but we have to look at everything we do right now, and we have to make sure that we are staying up to date with what's transpiring in the landscape. And I thought that Dane provided a very clear plan moving forward. He shared some of it just now in his comments, but that's what I thought.
Anybody else for Director of Athletics, Bill Chaves?
What did lead you to making a change?
Yeah, I just think at the point in time, I know that 10 years is a pretty long time, especially at the University of North Dakota hockey from a chapter standpoint. I do believe all of us have chapters in life. I have a chapter. And the end of the day, I think knowing where we are in Division I athletics right now, I've challenged many of our folks right now to figure out what is our plan moving forward. And at the end of the day, we need to articulate that very, very well, because we are in a different moment of time right now. And I think that's something that I thought we needed to do at this point in time.
Anybody else? Thanks, Bill.
Thanks.
We're opening up now to Head Coach Dane Jackson and questions for him.
Dane, same one for you. What changes are coming to the program?
I really think that we're not far off. As I referenced, we've had some great success along the way. Need some small tweaks. I do think our accountability, our kind of day-to-day process of just saying, hey, our standard is the standard. We're going to meet that every day with how we correct behavior, how we reward great behavior, how guys earn their next shift by what they do in the last one. Just kind of that mindset of just saying, hey, I remember Gino came in and spoke to us in I think it was late fall. And just hearing him talk brought me back to my days of when I played for him. And, I just think a couple little things had slipped a little bit. And hearing him talk just, I know we went back as a staff and talked about some of his words, and just how important it is to just reinforce those daily. Just do not ever let the standard go by. Every time we talk so much about culture, and culture is basically just small little moments. It's not what you say, it's not a sign on the wall, it's what you do, And we had a great get together at my house the other day, and we kind of were just talking about what is UND culture. We had guys go around and gave them a little assignment to say, what are some things you saw in our program, whether it's around town or the passion of our fan base, or whether it's what you saw a teammate do. Told some stories about examples for me of UND culture, of Jackson Keene coming into our coach's room on senior night and saying he was in the lineup, and he came in and he said, I can't play tonight, Zach Yon's got to go in. Things of that nature. Talked a story about Zach Jones, remember, one of our hard-nosed, tough D-man that was a captain. In his senior year, he'd never missed a game. Hack and I brought him in, and we told him, hey, Ben Blood is a freshman that hasn't really played. He's coming along. We need to get Ben playing. And Jonesy said, yep, it's the right thing for the program. You're going to play one game a week, Jonesy. I thought at first he was going to punch Hack, but then he settled down, and he said, no, I'll help Bloody, and I'll show him the way, and I'll teach him how to be a UND guy. Just things like that, small little things that I think separates our program. We got to highlight those. We got to emphasize them. We got to recruit young men that want to buy into that. Guys can take money to go elsewhere, other things, but I think it's so important we get the right guys that are coming here for the right reasons. We always say in recruiting, I don't want kids to come here because we'd ride in a private jet or because we have a chef. I want guys to come here because they want to go to battle with other guys that are like-minded and focused and disciplined and want to be part of something special, something bigger than themselves. We'll get those guys here and we'll win because of it.
Coach Aaron Walling with KVRR. You know, you've been a part of this program for a while, you know, part of the sport. Has it settled into, you know, for you on becoming the head coach of this program?
Oof, it's been a pretty whirlwind week. Yeah, it's hard to put into words. It's just, you know, something so special to me. Just, yeah, the connection I have to our guys and this university is huge. And I just know this. We're going to work, and we're going to give everything we have because it's our number one focus. I know we always say family first here, but not really the case. The team always seems to get the extra moments. But I always say I've spent a lot more time with you guys than I do with my own family. But yeah, it's just so special. Like I say, I've nothing really about me, but I just never wanted to go anywhere else. I wanted to be here. Just want to be part of it. You know, you walk through, you look at the pictures, you look at the history, you look at how important our program is to our university, our city, and our state, and you just feel you feel blessed. You say, this is cool. You know, when guys are calling from that I coached 19 years ago, calling me and supporting our program, it's part of you. It becomes your family.
Cullen Holt, WDAY-TV. Coach, you talked about a whirlwind week. Can you describe how challenging the timeline has been with the transfer portal and kind of hitting the ground running?
Yeah, good question. You know, you kind of come to a point when you're kind of back there in the war room and talking with your staff and talking with our guys, and you just kind of realize that in the end it's all going to work out. The guys that want to be here are going to be here. The guys that believe in what we're doing, believe in our staff, believe in what we do, they're going to be here, and I think it's all going to be okay. We'll find if some guys don't want to be here, we'll find new players that want to be here, and we're going to be just fine. So that's kind of I've been you know, kind of a calming thing for me. You just kind of say, hey, in the end, it's okay. It's just going to be what it's going to be, and we're going to, you know, if we get nicked up a little bit, the positive is we're going to get guys that are UND guys and are dying to bleed green.
Hey, Coach. Eli Andrews with the Dakota Student. What are some of the priorities for the team this offseason in your eyes?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I think a little bit like I just touched on, just the priority is just kind of really trying to instill that belief in, hey, this is who we are, this is how we play, this is what we do, this is how we train, this is how we're going to practice. And I think if we get that kind of process in place and just get the right guys here working, the right guys doing the right things, we've seen over years and years and years that it's worked. If you get the right people and you kind of you just live by it. That's your religion is the work and the preparation and the day-to-day. And if we have that, I just feel like that's our foundation, that's our North Star, and just have a belief that that's what I've seen. That's how I believe in the game. That's what I've seen. You know, I saw it in pro under some great coaches that I had. I saw it in Pat Quinn. I saw it in John Tortorella. I saw it in guys that just show up and they just really in that belief that the wins will take care of itself if we do the right things on a day-to-day basis.
Anybody else for Coach?
Hey, Coach, Lincoln Retzoff, NDICE. Can you talk about kind of what your process over the next few days and weeks of putting your coaching staff together is going to look like?
Yeah, well, we're in the middle of it right now. We're kind of going through the process to kind of evaluate and kind of fill the first spot, if you will. So that'll be great to kind of get Zooms, see what guys are all about. Obviously, we've always kind of had UND guys fill our staff. I think it is something that is special in our program. Doesn't mean that that will disclude guys that are not from UND, but I do put a huge value on guys that kind of have those kind of core values of kind of who they are. So that'll be the biggest thing. You know, obviously, yeah, filling out the roster and finding the staff are the biggest things for sure. You know, after that, then we'll kind of move on to the next, but those are the two priorities for sure.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, once again for joining us today. We will again proceed for one-on-one interviews with media who requested, both Director of Athletics Bill Chaves and Head Coach Dane Jackson. Once again, thank you to the REA staff for making today happen, and go UND.